All righty, everybody. How's it going? We're live and in person once again. Exciting to be here with everyone, especially with our new co-host down below, Mo.
Tony stand-in.
He's becoming part of furniture.
He's on so much that he's asked us to change the name of the show. So,
well, the good thing is you don't have to worry about the logo.
That's true.
I wear glasses just like you guys.
Right. Exactly. We could just put in a little ball cap or something.
Yeah,
anyways,
there you go.
Everyone, Mo's with us today, so we'd love to talk to Mo. He's basically part of the show anyway. So
that's true. When Tony's out, I'm in. It's like I'm a substitution.
Right. And I was like, oh, I got to find somebody this week. And I literally waited till last night at like 8:00. And I'm like, Hey, Mo, what are you doing tomorrow?
I'm in. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Yeah, it's always good to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, it's a great time to have you here. So, Rolf, how you doing, buddy? I see it's cold over there.
It's bloody cold. Look, this cardi, put this big thick cardi on. It's freezing. But there you go. That's old Blighty for you.
How cold is it?
It's well, what are we now?
And then you're gonna have to translate it too once you give it to us in Celsius.
Well, you know, water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
32 degrees. Yeah. Below 32.
It's about 2 to 3 degrees here.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
Wow.
It's
cold.
Nice weather.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Mo, we were sweating to death here.
I know, you're rotters.
Hot and muggy. Yeah, it's nasty. But it's December, but that's the thing about Texas. It can swing on a pendulum real quick. It can be 71 day and then 40 the next, or 25 or 30, whatever. It's weird.
Right, you do get variance. It does go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Texas gets a little strange like that, which is, where people get sick. It's like it was 80 degrees yesterday. Now it's 30 degrees. It's like,
your body can't cope with that. No.
Yeah.
Right. It's almost like our weather here when it's 70, 75, but when that sun goes down, it gets cold quick. We got to start shutting the doors and changing clothes. We literally wear like 3 different sets of clothes every day because you can't wear this at night or you just freeze to death. So,
it does get cold at night then. Really cold, yeah.
Oh yeah, it gets down in the mid 40s. Yeah,
nice.
No, it just stays cold over here all year round,
and rainy.
And rainy.
Well, I just literally, as we were prepping for the show, the wife just brought this box in, so we'll have a little box opening there. So
it's a foreign box too. It's from Italy. It says Fragile on it.
Fragile.
Yeah, it means what? Please handle with care, doesn't it?
And it's not Fragile. Surprise from GMT. Actually,
what'd you order recently from GMT?
I had a pre-order with a different company, so we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll let everybody sit there and stew about it.
RJL says it's more junk.
Well, it probably is more junk, because I was like, I got an email like yesterday from this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're shipping this out," and I'm like, "What is it? Huh?
Did I order that?
Did I order something?" Well, see, I'm still expecting my Kickstarters. My 4
What do you got?
Kickstarters from 2019, so they're supposed to be on ships now somewhere, and ships. So who knows if I'll ever get them.
What Kickstarter?
I did. Good question. It's been so long I forget the names of them. That's how bad.
Sort of mini thing.
Mini leg lamp, as Dennis was saying.
That's why I haven't been doing Kickstarters anymore.
Yeah, Kickstarter is kind of tough. There's a few I've done, but like I just did that Save Afghanistan Comrade and Save Vietnam. That one. They were expecting that to be shipped out very soon after the end of the Kickstarter, but with the global issues that are going on right now, there's a issue with chipboard. So that's going to delay things a little bit, but they're hoping it'll be by the end of December. So that'd be good.
Is that the one that Tony and others got. They did the 8th Air Force, and
It's the same company. Yeah, it is
they
the
won't
same company.
send over here. And that's so frustrating.
Oh, they
I
don't
want-
sell them over there, even through
No,
Amazon.
I can't kickstart it. I can't do anything. They won't send it.
Oh wow! So
only-
they don't even work with Second Chance or anything, huh?
No.
Wow.
And it's a shame because I wanted to have a look at the Air Force ones and the 2 new ones, but they just that must be because
Well, you know what you need to do is you need to get somebody to mail them to you, because the thing is they are Ziploc games. So you
Yeah.
could wait till these games are available, buy all of them, have somebody buy all of them, and just put them in the mail. Just
and then,
ship them
and
over.
then disappear. I'll get Tony to buy them all and then
That's
disappear.
true. Because the good thing is you can get all 4 games in one box.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I might. Yeah, that did cross my mind actually. So, but yeah, it's a shame. Otherwise, I think I would
Ruff,
have
you got enough stuff. You don't need nothing else.
just as well.
More.
You can't get the stuff on your table that you do have.
No,
What are you talking about? You just got a box in today.
yeah, he's worse than me, but I can't get it on my shelves.
Right, he's run out of room, and I start stacking stuff on the floor now. So that's how
You need to start culling. That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
I am going to. I've decided I was going to, because I was shipping things out to people that won, and I'm like, after I was standing in line at the post office for 35 minutes, I'm like, no, I am not doing this until the start of the next year. So
Yeah.
probably start of next year, I'll be culling some stuff off the shelves.
It's the best thing to do. Just get rid of, the stuff that isn't being played. That's where it forces you to, really reevaluate what you're doing. And the good thing about it is it forces you to reevaluate and what you've got, what you're going to play, and then you get rid of them. And then it also makes you start thinking when you're buying games, do I really need this? Do I really need this?
Yes.
9 times out of 10, you're still going to say yes, but that 10th time you will say no.
Ruff says yes to everything.
Yeah.
I only say yes to the things I buy, and that's when I love it. If I don't love it, I haven't got it on my shelf. You see, so
True.
But you
Well,
love
you just
everything. So
You just got the whole Panzer thing.
yeah, terrible, isn't it? Because that looks really. Have you got this, Mo?
I do not have Panzer. I have MBT, but I don't have Panzer.
Yeah, I've got
Not
MBT
yet.
base game, but I've ordered the expansion 4 for Panzer as well. But I ordered that the beginning of the week, and I ordered it first class, as they call it over here, first class postage. Still haven't got it. Paid extra for it, but of course it's that time of year. It's getting
So
round.
much for
People
first
sending
class.
parcels. Yeah, well, people are sending parcels. Yeah, well, there you go.
right.
So hopefully it'll turn up. Then I'll have
Yeah.
the whole lot. But it looks a cracking game, I'll tell you. MBT does as well.
Yeah, if you want tactical tank combat, that's the way to go.
And I do. So
There you go.
I want and I've got say for my aircraft, I've got Red Storm, which looks great. The aircraft thing. So yeah, I think what's happening to me, and it probably goes with a little bit of the subject of the stream today, is that it's true. When I started out, it was games, things like Warfighter and the Leader series and all that sort of thing, which I still thoroughly enjoy. But your tastes get a little bit more
Refined.
crunchy.
Mhm.
They get a little bit, and you think, oh, I need a little bit more, and then you order things like Red Storm, and you think, oh, that's quite crunchy, and Panzer and MBT. So yeah, I think I'm liking a little bit of a challenge now with my game.
GTS. Didn't you order some GTS?
I only got no Question of Surrender.
Okay, but you got that, yeah.
I've got GTS. They're all a little bit more crunchy.
Yeah.
I love my Lock and Load, of course. But yeah, I think as time goes on, they change. Your tastes change in a sort of.
Sure.
You want something a little bit more. Although I do like, say, I bought this last week because some other YouTuber, Dave's Gaming Cave, was this Minden Torpedo Raiders. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Uses a pack of cards, but it looks great.
Mhm.
Fun that you can pop in your pocket or in the bottom of your bag when you go away. Take a pack of cards with you. You don't even need the counters on the back.
Yeah.
And you're off. And so I still get drawn to things that are simple. It doesn't mean that I don't poo-poo games that are are simple. I love what I love, but I've gone a bit more crunchy as well, which is a shame because that means I've got to buy more games.
Well, I think Mo's right. It's when you just, as Ruff was getting back, Jesus, keep hitting your microphone, why don't you, Jester? Jesus. As you get back in the wargaming hobby, you get more and more stuff. You start looking at more and more games. And then eventually you see the pile and you're like, do I really need all this stuff? And how much stuff is going to fit on my table? How much stuff actually fits what I want to do now? You know, like,
but there's a sale I need to buy.
Look, I can get all the Panzers.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully they'll dribble them out over a course of a few months. No, they release them all at once. And I have a heart attack.
Well, I mean, for me, like I got Atlantic Wall, right? And if you guys know, that game isn't going to fit on my little 3x4 table that I've got here. And I don't have another table that I can put back in the, and if I do have it on my table here, I've got to somehow get it from here over to the couch in one piece without pieces spilling everywhere. So I'm like, well, that'll never see the light of day, you know. But for Panzer, that will, because you can actually play it on a map and they only take a couple hours for a scenario or whatever. So,
and again, sorry to keep harping on about it with those games, but those advanced rules, you can just plop one in. You know, like for instance, you could do the advanced command rule and just plop that in and play everything else basic until you get used to that. Then you could plop something else in. I love it. I love that. You know, looking through the advanced rules, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to put that one in, but you don't have to put them all in because you can circle the ones you've put in. So as you go along, you can fill up your advanced rule books. I love it. It's a good idea.
Yeah, and you can pick and choose what you want, which is, it tailors your experience to what you want to have on the table, which is great because sometimes you're like, wow, I really want to play this, but this is a little crunchier than I wanted because I don't need this rule. I don't care about those things. I just want to get in there and do this, but I want to add a couple of the advanced things. Yeah. So it's nice when you have that, you know, versatility there.
Yeah, a lot of games don't do that. They'll have the basic rules and then the advanced rules, and you've got to use all the rules in the advanced bit to get the most out of the game. But yeah, this one is good. I like it.
Yeah, I think the only downside to that is, you know, you start adding a few rules, which is great, but then if you play it multiplayer with somebody else, they might like some of the rules that you don't like, and you like some of the rules that they don't like, which can kind of, you know, oh well, let's add this. I don't know how to. I don't use that rule, so I don't know how to play with that rule. So it can be a downside to it as well.
Yeah, but the good thing with wargamers is when we play, I think I've said this before on the show with you guys. The one of the coolest things about wargamers compared to other gaming areas, you know, different like Euros and things, is that wargamers, we play competitive against each other, but we also play cooperatively, even when we're playing competitive. If we're going to sit down and play a game and I know part of it better than you do, or I know the game and you don't, I'm teaching you the game. And then during the game, I'm going to say, don't do that move. I wouldn't do it. And here's why, because if you do this, this is going to allow me to do this to you because I'm explaining to you because I know you don't understand that part of the rule yet, and vice versa. Or we're like, hey, we've never played this game. Let's learn it together. And then we'll say, can you really do that? Is that really a good thing to do? Because you might get hammered. Here, let's look at the rules and double check first. And that's the good thing about it. Is that way you work together to learn a rule system. So that way you can play better as time goes on, and you're playing to win, but not super heavy competitive. Some people will, but generally I think everybody works together because the overall experience is about learning and having fun playing the game.
I'm finding that with the Blue Tweezers, who's been teaching me, I don't know how he's got the patience, teaching me all these games, teaching me at the moment Great Battles of the American Civil War. Nice. And he's like that. I'll say, oh, I want to do that. And he goes, hold on, Ruff.
No, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to see what might be best for you to do is do this for So you're quite right, and it's of course you want to win, but it's the fun thing, and that's what we're talking about today, isn't it? It's the fun thing is just playing with somebody else. I love my solo stuff, and it's a great experience. but it's a completely different and just as good experience playing with people. Yes, I love it. Sorry, cheers everyone.
Cheers. We've missed a couple, so
yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, they're different things, but they're great things. Oh, shut up now, because I get moaned at.
So let's see what's in the box here.
Oh, what's in the box?
Open the box.
What's in the box? I completely forgot about this, to be honest. Boom, 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 boom.
So you know what it is. Oh,
I do know what it
nice.
is.
Always wanted one of those. North Africa. Nice.
North Africa. MMP.
Oh, it's the new one.
Yeah, the SCS.
Standard,
New
yeah,
SCS.
the Standard Combat Series. I forgot that I pre-ordered that. Holy cow. $60.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I had ordered that too, but on the old system, and it never ported over to the new one. So I think that got lost in the mix.
I keep.
Oh, I do love the SCS system.
I'll tell you what. Have you played it, Ruff? Have you played SCS?
I've only got Africa, the original Africa.
Oh, okay. Because I was waiting for him to say, "Oh yeah, I love it."
No, well, I haven't had a good game of it yet. No, and I'm thinking, do I do that? That people poo-poo it, people love it. It's one of those, isn't it? That it's too simple. It's not, Oh, I love it. It's a very accessible game.
It is.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind the fact that it's a simple game. It's the subject matters as well, which interest me.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of them, so it's on my radar. More so than OCS, which SCS is like a lighter version of OCS.
SCS is nowhere near OCS. It's totally different.
I know, but it's supposed to be. It's got supply and all that. It's operation. It's that sort of thing.
Well,
isn't it?
SCS is literally it's the best intro war game system, I think.
Yeah.
If you want to get into a system, for somebody getting into war games, because it teaches you all the basics of things you're going to use in every war game, and obviously they'll expand on it. But like you said, there will be basic supplies, ox, different types of movement costs over terrain, things like that. So it's worth getting.
Yeah.
For somebody just getting into war games, it's worth getting for experienced war gamers too, because you can put it down on the table and knock out a game.
Actually, it's interesting. John Longshore.
Hello, everyone. Anyway, hello.
Actually, did predict it was North Africa. So, yeah, congratulations, John. You won yourself a brand new copy of
North Africa.
Oh, wait, I don't ship internationally anymore after standing in the post office for 45 minutes to ship out a game that cost me $68 to ship.
International?
Yeah.
Who are you sending something that costs $68 to ship?
Well, we gave away these games that I literally think everyone that came to our second anniversary was out of the States because yeah, I shipped to Germany, Belgium, Ireland.
And the most expensive was to Canada.
All my European friends to join in on that stream, so it cost him a fortune. I emailed everyone.
I tell you, it was brutal. I'm like, all right, I'm done shipping now, so
it's crazy.
No more giveaways. Even though we actually have some stuff to give away. We got the Tank Duel pack.
Oh, nice.
Pack 1. That we're going to give this away when we have our next Tank Duel battle. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Hathwell, how's it going?
Private Public, your game, Private Public's game is still sitting right here.
Oh dear.
Right here. Here's Private Public's game.
I
don't know if he's going to get it because I've spent like $250 on shipping and I just got that in like last week. Mark Walker was on and sent it to me, and he emailed me like 2 weeks ago. He's like, "Hey, did you get any of the games?" I said, "I got one," and he's like, "Oh, which ones didn't you get?" So then he must have talked to his people, and so the other one's just sitting here because I'm like, oh.
The problem is, it's going to cost you a pretty penny because I think Private Public is in a land down under.
Yeah, he's in Australia. He sent me his address, so. Yeah, it's sitting here. I don't know if he's going to get it. I might renege.
Well,
or give it away to somebody else.
were you able to ship it to them, or do you have to go FedEx?
I'd have to. No, I can ship it. UPS or the postal service.
Is the postal service now open back up to us? Because remember, they were not shipping or not
really?
receiving, one of the two. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that would be my excuse then. I couldn't ship it because they won't accept it.
Well,
It's
I like what John said about here. His wife paid $47 to send two $2.50 tea towels to her nieces in Canada.
Wow.
It's like, really? Come on. Yeah. It's international. It's across the friggin' border. It literally, you could walk it over there.
But he says, as he says, needlessly to say, his wife's card has mysteriously disappeared.
So now they're back open, private public says. So
yeah,
good.
It looks
that's
like
good.
He says it's open. Yeah. I can't. First of all, the craziness at the post office now, I think literally people going to buy things to stores doesn't happen anymore. I think they literally are ordering things online and shipping things to people. I think are the two ways they send Christmas gifts now.
Yeah, it is a good way to do that. But as far as shipping goes, if you're gonna, like, when you're culling your games and all, best thing to do is sell the game, just print the label at home, put it on the box, get a bunch of boxes ahead of time, USPS, the flat rate, just take them to the post office, drop in the box and go. Because if you're going to stand in line, forget it. It just, they move like molasses. So
yeah, it's the same. It's the same over here. You're in front of the person that wants to do 150 different things. And, and you think, I just want to post this thing. I just want to, I just cut people off when
if they don't have if the box isn't open, it's full. They'll have people stand in line. I'll just walk right up to the counter and say, I need to turn this in. It's already paid. Everything's done. All you got to do is put it back there. Your box is full. And they're like, some people look at you like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm dropping this off.
Yeah.
Right. Well, fortunately, this one is pretty light. There's not a lot in this one. Yeah. So this one won't be too expensive, but it's a time and
as you say, I'm waiting on a parcel, from Second Chance Games. They sent it out first class post on Tuesday, 30th, I think it was, and still haven't got it. I know it's only the 4th. We're terrible. We're looking out the window all the time, aren't we, when you expect stuff.
He's between the blinds. He's like,
where is it? Yeah, you see that GMT have charged your card, and every day you're out there looking, waiting for it to turn up, So, hopefully it'll turn up.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. What's GMT? How are they processing things now? They've moved anything up the road? How's that?
I got charged for a couple.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That means I probably got charged too.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Let's see what they got here.
I got that because hopefully my boy will have a go with it. I've got him into a couple of games.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will do it for him because it's he likes a bit of Roman stuff. And last 100 yards. It's my first 100 yards. It's still a base game. It's the last base game. The other one, the Airborne, and the original one are the two base games for the for that theatre. But this is a base game for the Pacific Theatre. So I thought I'll just dip my toe in and see what it's like. Everybody raves about it.
Nice.
Yeah. Getting tactical, you see.
There you go.
I know you're a modern, 80s and up kind of view like that. What do you ever play Twilight Struggle?
I have.
Yeah.
I haven't played in a really long time.
Oh.
But I think Ruff loves it. Oh, he's got the dog.
He's got the dog.
So yeah, no, I have played Twilight Struggle. I think everybody's played Twilight Struggle at some point or another. But now with the app, you can play it anytime you want, which makes it a lot easier to play than if you were going to play the board game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still have the
board game. A lot cheaper. I think you can get it on Steam for like $15 or something.
Yeah. And the thing is I've got the board game. I'm gonna either give that away or sell it because it never gets on the table because of the app and everything. And I don't have anybody around here that would want to play it. I'm not as keyed on it as I used to be. I used to really like it. Not that I don't like it. It's kind of like, all right, well, when I'm in the mood for something like that, I'll play it. But I pretty much just want to stick with war games. So,
yeah. I mean, Ace Winning, it's been very popular.
It's been around for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Space Corps, which we tried out with Boot Tweezers. I think it was just the three of us. I don't think Tony was there, was he?
Tony missed it? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. But yeah, I know Ruff wasn't a big fan of the Space Corps.
I don't love everything. What I do love is what I've got, so I wouldn't buy it otherwise. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. Just wasn't for me. I know it's a very popular game.
I think that's the first time since I've known him that it just something hasn't tickled his fancy.
Mm.
Well, it's
coin.
Yeah,
coin. Well, you never tried coin though.
You taught me Cuba Libre. You keep saying you forget. We did it.
No, I remember teaching you. Yes, but that was like teaching. You never really played it though.
No, it didn't go. I didn't go.
You never had some invested into a game, so.
And I probably won't, unless this one set on Mars tells me differently. Got that one because it's set on Mars.
Well, if you don't have a lot of them, I think having the one on Mars, because that really does interest you, like the Expanse type of thing, then you probably would find that more enjoyable. If you played a few of them, then you realize that I know some people may take umbrage with it, but it's the same system. It's the same game. It's just reskinned. There are some differences, but if you played one, you played most of them, if not all of them. And there are some differences. Obviously, there are some different commands and some different, but essentially it's the same game. So,
which is why I'm thinking if I only get one, hopefully that'll be the one set on Mars.
Exactly.
And they'll probably have some different mechanic or something. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, especially the first four in this series are reskins of one another.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Very similar. 4 factions. 2 factions work together. The other 2 kind of work together. It's But I think it's it'll be interesting with the new Fire in the Lake expansion coming out. So that'll be interesting to see what they're adding to the game now. So who knows?
What else did you get?
What's that?
You're going through your GMT buying list.
I got Command and Colors and the Last 100 Yards. That's the 2 that I got.
Nice.
So also because I got Sticker Joe's solo card thing on order as well. So I thought I'll get Ancients. So if the boy doesn't like it, at least I can use Joe's cards and play it on my own.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the Ancients plays pretty well.
Anyway.
Solo. Yeah, solo. I mean, just if you flip 5 sides, I think that one plays pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But it may actually, when we get those cards in, make me want to have a go at Paths of Glory, which you keep going on about, Jester.
Yeah, I love Paths of Glory. I need to really find some time to do that. I love that game. Hey, Matt White's in the house. How you doing?
Matt's in the house.
Look at
Todd's
that.
in the house too.
There's everybody's in the house. It's
in the house.
Dad.
Most, because you're here, everybody's in the house. In the house, as they say.
Exactly. Everyone's like, oh, Mo's here. Let's go see what that jackass is going to say.
No, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Great to see everyone.
So,
thanks
we haven't gotten into the best part of the
see you all
Wargaming
next
yet.
week. Oh, no.
What I heard was, because you're both talking. Start again.
You go. It's your show.
I said, thanks everyone for showing up. We'll see you all next week.
Couldn't resist.
Yeah, Heathwell is here.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Well, I hate to tell you this. I don't know, but your play 3 games and buy 1, that has been gone for at least 4 or 5 months now.
No, I'm not buying. I said the caveat was except for P500s. And the only
He's giving himself an out.
Yeah, I did. And the only thing I bought was that. which isn't P500, and that was $9.95, including postage. So
Nice.
No, you just got the Next War game.
yeah, that was P500.
No, it wasn't.
Which one did you get?
Well, I got Vietnam and Taiwan. No, what is it? Not Taiwan.
Yeah, Taiwan or
Korea. Yeah, the reprint. And it is the reprint because it's got white lettering, as Mitch told me. That's what the new reprint. Yeah, so that was P500.
And it's got the thicker counters.
Yeah, and a thicker box.
Which I really, I like those thinner counters. I just do. The
Really?
thinner
I like them on
really
things like, sorry, Mo, I like them on things like REF, you know, the decision games. They're great because they go clinkety clink. And on the Doolittle Raid, they're nice and clinky. They've got big ones that go clink. I think Gimpy was going on about the fact when you drop them on the board, they go clink. It's it's nice sound.
Yeah, but I like those thin ones for when you have stacks. They're great.
Yeah, that's you've got to have. Yeah, but I don't think Next War has too many things. The only problem with those thicker counters I'm finding, like with Panzer and Next War and that, they just about go into my metal clippers. Just about. Yeah.
Flipping them is tough.
But you know, first world problem.
They're getting thick enough. They are starting to be a little pain in the butt.
You've got to sort of ease them in a bit, you know, and you have to have the old Pritt stick handy in case you pull back on the back of it when you try and push it in a bit too hard and stick down the paper again.
Well, the thing with it, like MBT, you know how you were saying the bigger counters and stuff. I can't believe that they just did a reprint of MBT and they didn't put it in a 3-inch box. The game needs to be in a 3-inch box with those big counters and everything, and all the stuff. The maps and the data cards take up so much room. Where are you going to put the counters? You know, you can put them in bags. So, but you don't want to.
Right.
That's
where the battle.
No.
Yeah.
That's where you put the counters.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Nothing else. They won't go in the box.
No.
But there we are. And the same.
That's a great solution, although you'll end up having boxes and boxes of those.
I have, and you can't see it. There's a shelf down here, and that's just full of those blooming boxes, which are a necessity because if they bring it out in a 2-inch box, you're not going to get them in.
Yeah.
There we are. If that's my only problem, I'm happy. It won't go in the box. Right.
Well, yeah, it's always. I mean, they put those inserts and everything in the boxes to give you extra space, but then there's never enough space.
Inserts are for shipping only. Throw them out.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, I was looking at the Panzer expansions, and there's not a lot of stuff in there, and I might keep them in there for those because you can put the cards in that little groovy bit.
Yeah.
And you just got the 1 or 2 booklets. And then a couple of bags of counters, not so many counters in the expansions. They go in a little groovy bit as well. So it might be the first time I keep inserts ever.
Now, Brian's saying that it's the same issue with combat. However, with combat, there is a solution that someone came up with because I'm really big on the storage, you know, trying to keep everything within the main box. And somebody came up with a really ingenious little storage situation for combat. So go check it out. I think it's on the Board Game Geek page for combat, and it's reboxing combat is what it's called. So he used these different little containers that you can get with there was like a bead box or something like that for beads, and they have different shaped size containers, and they all work for, you know, the base counters for the Germans, for the Americans, and then all of the different status counters. You use the big boxes and small boxes. And I was just like, wow, this is great. He even made a sticker sheet for him. So the other day I just printed out my sticker sheet and I'm boxing them up. So it works really good.
He worked out which boxes fit in which will go.
Yeah, he did. He even shot the video to show you how to do it. And I was like, that is ingenious. That is fantastic.
But the problem is us poor old, you know, limeys can't get hold of these boxes probably.
See, now add that into the box of all the games for like 8th Air Force and all that stuff. Just have Tony send that to you.
Yeah, poor old Tony's going to get a big bill, and then I'm disappearing. I told you.
Yeah, but you'll get your stuff.
I'll get my stuff. Yeah.
You'll have all of it, and you won't need them anymore. So
no. Oh, bless
Might
him.
as well. Might as well leave him in the dust.
No, bless him. What's he up to today, anyway?
I don't know what he's up to.
Probably something with his
Forget.
daughter,
He
I would
said
assume.
something last week. All he said was he wasn't going to be here.
It's his daughter's play.
Oh, the play, okay.
Right. Yeah. His daughter's, yeah.
Fair
I think
enough.
A
Yeah.
school thing, yeah.
You
Somebody remembered that? I think
What?
somebody. No, maybe somebody didn't.
No, that was Ruff that said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mouth was moving there. I did not see. It was.
He doesn't listen to you.
See how much notice he takes of me.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go. Beauty and the Beast.
so let me see if I can do this here.
What do you
Do you want to share your screen?
Nope, I just
Okay.
posted up the link, and this is the link for that reboxing.
Oh,
And
for
this
that
was that I was talking about with the setting up. It was Clifton Franklin. So shout out to him for what a really great tip on how to store that game and how to keep it all in the base box, because you got Combat 2 coming out pretty soon. So you're going to need to probably do the same for Combat 2 for the counters that come in that game, because it's going to give you the full campaign.
It's an expensive game. It looks fantastic, but you've got it, Mo.
Oh yeah. I haven't played it yet. That's one of my plans over Christmas.
What about? Just wondering about the replayability, because Dad versus Son did a big playthrough of it, and somebody asked him what's the replayability, and he wasn't quite sure.
Really?
Yeah,
I would think the replayability would be there.
Well, it's cards, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Because I've got a couple of ones that I've got to dig into. Assault Red Horizon 41, which I did a unboxing for recently, and then Purple Haze I'm going to be working on too. So be talking about that over the next Phalanx
one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting too.
And the new
maybe that'll be a good topic for next week, because that'll be, let's see, what about the 10th? So we'll have 3 weeks left. Yeah, so about 3 weeks left after next week. What you're going to try and squeeze in before the end of the year, right? Because we did this show last year where we came up with our top 10 games that we were going to play this year.
Oh, and how many of those did you actually succeed on?
So far, I've got 5 or 6. Ruff, I think, is at 3.
Oh, that was more than that, surely.
It was 4.
Pretty sure not. Because Ruff, he'll.
The thing is, you say these games and then games come out, and
Right.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Oh, I've got to play this, And Tony's sending me, Falklands War. I've had a bit of technical issues this week, which is why there wasn't a video up for it. So it's up next week. I've got to play this because he sent it to me with love, and I've got to play it. Of course I have.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Good to see
Mike.
you, Mike. We were just talking about Mike's game at Tank Duel a little bit ago. Hopefully, I keep mentioning this, but the holidays are just so messed up trying to find time for everyone. When you're trying to get 3 or 4 people together at the same time, it's a little hard during the holidays. I literally have my daughter coming in tomorrow, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So.
For how
long? Good question. How long?
A whole month? Just a couple weeks?
No. Just a week. She's only going to be here a week. So. But we'd like to get another game of Tank Duel in with Mike and give away our freebie to some nice U.S. customer.
I tell you what, guys, everybody from my part of the world in Europe, make sure you join in for the Tank Duel and make sure you win this.
No American put in for it.
Good Lord.
Only people from Australia and New Zealand should apply to win the game. I did get this here, Kokoda campaign.
Oh,
recently.
Nice. Panzer Grenadier.
Yeah, Panzer Grenadier. That was sent to me by one of the viewers today.
Have you played Panzer Grenadier? Mo?
I've never played. Brian
Oh.
Patterson, who's watching today, he's a big fan of it, and he was talking to me about it and says, you need to play this game. You need to play this game. So I've got it now that I have it, and it's just, he's like, have you played it yet? I'm like, I'm sorry, I haven't. I've got so much crap I'm working on right now that I haven't even.
Yeah, there's always crap you're working on, as you say.
There's something going on, and I'm like, damn, I look at the games that I sit on the side that I'm like, I got to get to this. I got to get to this. I have games I haven't even done videos on, unboxings on, or anything yet that I just have to work on. And then there's games I still need to play. I still have Scream Main Fire that I've been meaning to get on the table, and it's a game that I should be able to get on the table fairly quick, and I just haven't. I just haven't had time.
But you won't find a scenario under 35 turns
for Panzer Grenadier.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, it's
might be different because
I'll wipe out one side or the other pretty quick. I can outsmart myself pretty good.
Kokoda's supposed to be one of the.
It's a
hold on. Kokoda's supposed to be one of the introductory. Boxes, along with the other one I've got. Where's it gone? Invasion 44. Yeah, they're supposed to be introductory. So they're smaller scenarios. So yeah.
Good. And Brian said he's blaming you guys being responsible for him getting the Panzer Grenadier.
Yeah, it's a great series. It is sloggy. You have to slog it out. You're chipping.
So you're not like wiping each other out quick. You're hammering on each other.
No,
that's
suppressing, and then assaulting. It's.
It is literally sitting there, hoping you can wear down your opponent before he wears you down, before you can do anything.
Now, have you guys played? What's the one? I just totally went brain dead. Worthington, Band of Brothers. Have you guys played that one?
I have not.
Neither one. Okay. Now I was going to say, how do you compare Band of Brothers to Panzer Grenadier as far as like playability, the tactics needed to play? Are they similar or not?
Told me about Band of Brothers that you have to do this, do that, flank, do this,
flank, finish. It's all 4 Fs. Yeah.
It's not like that.
Okay.
Because you have initiative and all that sort of thing. You've got leaders, which will allow you to do other things. But yeah, you've got to chip in. You can't just rush forward. It's not like Nations of War, which I love as well, which is a dice fest. You just throw dice and see who wins. This one, you have to be a bit more, and they do say it's more realistic. I don't know. The line of sight rules are very involved as well. But yeah, I just like. I don't know why. I just love it. Maybe it was the first sort of tactical game I really got a hold of and played. The maps are awful on the earlier versions of the game.
I didn't think the maps were that bad on Kokoda.
No, not on Kokoda. No, I'm talking like Eastern Front. They're just oh dear. So if you can play on them, you can play on anything. So the maps on Panzer and MBT, fine. So because people know about them as well, don't they?
Well, I mean, look at ASL.
And look at combat.
They're pretty brutal looking maps.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, so the maps I quite like. I quite like them actually. The Panzer and MBT maps. I like the colours. Being colourblind, I like good contrasty things. So yeah, I've got no problem.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Good luck with Panzer Grenadier. I hope you like.
Nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be excited to check it out.
Counters are lovely. They've got nice.
They are.
Counters are great. The maps are better. It is just you have to go in with a different mindset, which I don't think. Just from watching Mo and hearing Mo, he's I want to get up in your face and slug it out.
He's a tanker. What do you expect?
Well, I mean,
that's the thing. It's like, there's fun with, I am, and don't get me wrong. I understand nuance of movement and stuff like that and all that. But generally, when people play a war game, it's like they want to look at it. They're looking to min-max. So, okay, if I get all the way over here, I can do this. It's like, screw that. I'm running right up the gut. Let's get in the fight. This is a war game. Let's fight. Let's play. That's what we're here for. And that's at least part of the fun to me. Now, of course, obviously you want to make sure when you're movement to contact, you want to make sure you're utilizing terrain to your advantage, and you want to make sure you can bring maximum guns to bear, so on and so forth. But there's a time and place for everything. But generally, I want to get right into the action when it's a war game.
that's why sometimes
You know where I'm coming, right up the gut.
Yeah, that's why I like my Nations at War and Lock and Load Tank. You just go for it. Yeah, you're rolling the dice and bang. It's brilliant. Panzer Grenadier, though, it is a different kettle of fish.
Cool.
And it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what you want. If you want a bit more sort of creep and chip.
I do like that too. Like that too. And that's the hardest thing to get out of a board war game, especially tactical level, is because you have to constantly look at line of sight. And this is where a computer game is so much better for tactical, is you can do movement. You can worry about your stealth. You can worry about line of sight. You can tell immediately how it's going on. You're taking all of that in. There's no stopping and measuring and seeing if somebody could do not suppressive fire, but opportunity fire on you, things like that. And that's where I love shooters. I haven't played one in a while, but I love those. Nice map.
Please use your terrain to get up there to the town.
And that's all flat.
That's
how big are the hexes?
Talking about. If you can play on that, you can play on it.
I think they're 500 meters.
500 meters a hex?
Yeah, I think that's what they are. Yeah.
So there's like what, 7-8 hexes between that hill and that city? So it's like 4,000 meters. So you can't like put something up there in Overwatch while you're moving on it.
No, I mean most things only shoot 1 or 2 hexes anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So
first thing I'm going to do is throw something in a Jeep and run it up the street.
Start again.
I'm just going to throw something in a Jeep and let them run. I was going to put something in a Jeep and let him run up the street and let him be the meat puppet. And then I'm going to.
You can do because there's opportunity fire and they're waiting for you, and you run up the street and they go.
Yeah. I don't want to go after him.
No. Wait,
200 meters. 200 meters per hex.
It is really good.
But I would say this is from Fall of France, and you do get a lot more.
You get a better map.
Oh yeah,
much better map. With a lot more terrain, a
lot of terrain,
stuff in it. Yeah,
cool.
So,
good luck. I hope you enjoy it anyway.
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to have fun with it because I do enjoy tactical systems.
And counters, clinky clink counters, so you'll be all right. There is a bit of stacking with them.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Brian's saying it is 200 meters a hex. Yes. We're all checking the comments all at the same time.
I know. Just
right.
It's dead air. Everyone's reading comments.
I understand what you're saying. The problem is they're so expensive. That's the only thing with the Panzer Grenadier.
Really?
They are quite expensive, especially over here. So I have to look on the second-hand market, and they don't often crop up. And when they do, you get the older games. There's a Normandy one I'm quite looking forward to getting. I've got the Africa Corps one and the Eastern Front. The Eastern Front one, I think, came out in the 90s with those, some say, god-awful maps.
Yeah.
Has about 120 odd different scenarios in it. The scenario book is like that.
Mm.
And everybody's saying it's a bit unbalanced. Yeah, I don't care. You're playing the Soviets. It's going to be unbalanced. So all the Soviets.
Well, what's to say it's unbalanced? Everyone will say that scenarios are unbalanced. One of the things is people have to remember with a lot of war games is there is playtesting that goes into them, but you never know what the playtesters were doing when it comes to how they were playing the game. And some are obviously unbalanced and some are unbalanced intentionally for the historical purpose. But at the same time, there's so many scenarios that not every one of them is going to be 100% play tested. So that's just the way it is.
Well, there was 120 odd different scenarios. Of course, they're not all going to be play tested.
They're probably play tested. 12 of them.
It's the Soviets, and they're going to be the underdogs. And so when you're playing, they're great because they're defending normally, and it's great for solo.
They actually have a modern version, which I have never tried.
Ooh,
oh yeah, they've got Israeli one, modern one.
Sort of Israel, Fold the Gap, 68.
Yeah,
Fold the Gap and Kusan.
Nice.
Kasan.
Yeah, but they don't go any more modern. I want something like more modern, like 80s, 90s.
I think they will eventually. They have a modern set of rules. They have a First World War set of rules. Panzer Grenadier, First World War, Second World War. They have their naval stuff, but they've just brought out a new one which has naval stuff in it, but it's Panzer Grenadier. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And looking at the price of that Brian was going to say, "I'll send it to you," but I'm a bit short of the old funds with this, stuff. But it's coming over here anyway to Second Chance Games, and it's not
Nice.
an abhorrent price, so I may get that when it turns up in a few weeks or months' time after Christmas in the New Year, maybe. But yeah,
sweet. Yeah, no, that's cool. And I'm always up for another tactical game, and there's really not a lot that cover modern, so it's great to see. I mean, Lock and Load Tactical is pretty much the only modern one that I'm aware of, meaning squad tactical.
Yeah.
Everything else is World War One. I mean, World War II, and then there's even the World War One when they took that Combat Commander and spun it into World War One. Wow, there's a bunch. Yeah, you're screen there.
So expensive.
Pretty cool.
Oh, but it's they do. If you want to pick a battle, these guys have probably got one on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they actually have once you actually own the games and the maps and the pieces, you can buy like actually just books, and the books have just scenarios in them.
Nice.
It says just use this map and these counters, and so
if
that's
you own
cool.
this and this book's for you, sort of thing.
Cool.
It's a series rules, so just
and you can download the rules and the charts and print out a copy for free, which is nice, so people can try it out for free and see if it's something for them.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Lock and Load does with their kit.
Lock and Load have got their finger on the pulse there. I think poor old Everlast Press needs a little bit of pushing, kicking and screaming into the 1960s.
But I mean, as far as like giving you the little demo kit, you can try it out. You get the starter kit, you get 4 scenarios, and then you can just jam through that and see if you like it. And if you do, because you can download the rules and everything from Lock and Load, all the charts, all that stuff.
Yeah, everything.
And then you can just play it and say, hey, this is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead with it. Or you say, hey, this is more involved than I want, whatever. And then go from there and build out your collection of Lock and Load tactical games.
Yeah. They got a really nice Second World War at Sea system with a lot of games in that as well. So if you like ship combat, really good system for that with real in-depth combat. A lot of dice chucking in that one.
Yeah.
But
the only thing with that is it's not as solo friendly as Panzer Grenadier, unfortunately, because I looked at them, I thought, oh, lovely. But there's a lot of hidden movement and things. So, but they're great. They do look great.
There is hidden movement. You plot out your ships ahead of time, and then when they intersect, there is still a chance that they don't meet because each little box is 200 square miles of ocean or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but I like it. The tactical ship combat's really fun. It's really involved though. So
yeah, it's good.
Anyways, I just thought I would.
So what is the best part of Wargaming then? Being that we're at almost an hour into the show and you guys haven't.
Look at him taking over. Oh,
wow. There you go.
Well, someone's got to run this cluster.
I know, just waffle otherwise.
What is the best part of Wargaming? So I have my thoughts on it, which of course, what do you think, Ruff? What do you think the best part of Wargaming is? I know you love it all.
Well, that's it. Good.
Well, let's try
next week
and figure out what your favorite love part is. Is it experiencing a new game? Is it?
I don't know what it is. You say we have how many games? How many games does a war gamer want? And the answer is just one more. Just one more. And I've got the bug and I love it. And what I love about wargaming, okay, everybody says, oh, you get in a game, take the shrink wrap off, and I do my videos, and people either love or hate unboxing videos, but I love them, so I do them, and a good few people love my unboxing, so I do them anyway, because it doesn't matter if there's been 20 of them. This is my version, because I'll watch all 20 of them. I love unboxings. So there's that new getting the shrink wrap off and getting the counters out and looking at them. But for me, as I'm sort of maturing, I suppose, as a gamer, is learning different mechanics and things. You know, there's similarities between a lot of games, and you've got your Zocs, and you've got your this, and you've got your that, and very similar in lots of games. But what I like is things that come up with something really different, which is why games like Atlantic Chase, and I know Mo, and I know Jester, you know, but the mechanics in that are so different to anything I've come across.
Sure.
And I love the little blocks. I love the map, and it's just I think for me is learning new things. And as I'm getting more crunchy with my games, a lot of these new things are coming along. So, and looking at the component quality, that's another thing. You think, oh, that map's nice. Oh, look at them photos. You know, I can't wait to get those clips. You know, so and that's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when it comes to like unboxings and stuff, they're great. I mean, they're fantastic. As you get it really get a chance to look at the game before you buy it, see what the quality is, see how much attention was paid by the publisher, how much effort was put into it, because that will definitely affect whether you want to get the game or not. And of course, you get a glance through the rules and everything else. So that is definitely motivation to want to get the game. The one thing with war games for me, going back to what you're saying about opening the box, is the whole idea when you open a box is not only the smell is awesome because you're like, oh, new game, you know, but it's possibilities. It's possibilities. You're like, oh wow, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that with this game.
You get that little thing in your tummy, don't you?
Yes, you're thinking about when you play this in the future, what kind of, how many hours is this going to give you? How many years worth of enjoyment you're going to get out of the game? So that is the first thing when you open the box to me, is all the possibilities that are in that box. And it always ends up the same way. No matter what the game is, you're always going to be excited that first time.
Yeah.
Some games will let you down for whatever reasons, but generally overall, I think it's just really a positive experience all the way through when you open that game up. And then when you get into it, obviously, hopefully it's even more positive.
Yeah. What we should do, especially as YouTubers, is when we get a game in, we get that excitement, that little butterfly thing in our tummy, is to get it out on the table as quick as possible, because you go, oh, that's lovely, do the unboxing, goes back on the shelf, and you've got something else on. And by the time you get round to it, that first love flush that you got, is
it was just, you find out it was just infatuation for a day.
Yeah, it was like, no, she wasn't that pretty. You know,
I moved on to another woman. That's true.
Mike Bertagelli says it's a social experience playing with my good friends, spending hours BSing and shooting them right in the face.
Yeah, and that's
a great part. That's a great part of wargaming.
Very recently for me, and it's a different experience and just as fun, a completely different type of fun to playing solo, which is what I've done, you know, when I first started. But playing face to face with you and Tony and Mike and Tweezers and it's just weird. It's just like, it's great fun, and I can see, you know, you guys getting around the table and playing it. You know, I'm thousands of miles away across the ocean. We don't have as many conventions as you guys do. Tweezers has come back from a little small one. So who knows? Maybe next year, the year after, I'll be at WBC. I'd love to go there and come over and meet with you guys, and you can take the mickey out of my accent and how tall I am. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah, there's another thing. You know, playing face to face virtually has been a great.
I think he's taking over for Tony this week.
Sorry, I'm a bit I don't know what it is.
Wow. He's a bit getty today, isn't he?
I'm sorry. I do apologize.
I love it. No, that's great. It's good points. And you know,
good points. Very good.
You know, I mean, playing in person is something that we've all been missing out on for a while.
You know, I saw some comments earlier. You know, I think Stuka Joe said something about it's a learning experience, reliving history. You know, some people
time travel experience. Yeah,
love the history part of it. Somebody's like me out there. Who was it? Said something about it's just stuff you can put on the shelf that never gets played.
It looks nice.
That is definitely a part of the wargaming experience. That's
right, isn't it?
Collecting.
I look at that and stare and go, that's lovely, isn't it? But yeah.
Someday.
Yeah, someday they'll all have a little tick on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Or that look on your friend's face when he now realizes he's been defeated, right? I mean, that's priceless, right? Where it's like, I don't know if I can get out of this now. This little pickle you got me in now.
But it's like a nice thing. It's nice that if I get in that situation and I think you swine, you sod, and you're laughing about it, yeah.
Mhm.
And the fact you you knock your king over, and you say, well done, you get.
Right.
So,
Well,
but
that is cool when you're like when you know it's like somebody and you're like, I didn't even pay attention to that. You got me 4-1 in this thing, and that's gonna blow a hole in my line. Okay, let's do the roll. I'm about ready to get my ass kicked here, and you laugh about it, and then they roll a 1.
yeah,
Right?
and
Like, oh, that sucks for you.
Yeah, too bad.
And the guy's
Sorry
going,
about the luck.
yeah. So it's great, but it's all good humored. That's the thing I'm
Yeah,
finding.
exactly.
With you guys, there are exceptions, as we said before, in any group of people, but generally speaking, it's all very good humored, and if you get a good lucky throw, you go, you get, and well done. That's next time I'm going to have you, sort of thing. And it's great. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes to, there's always going to be the one or two rules lawyers or whatever that they just have to win, or they can't accept losing, or they're just being a jerk or whatever. It's like, well, usually the playing experience with them is once, and then I'm I'm never going to play with that person again because it's not worth my time. So
exactly. But
and it's rare. It's very rare.
It is rare, and that's what I love about this community. It's very to other communities I've belonged to, with interests and things I do. Very rare, very generous, and
yes,
encompassing and encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get me going. I'm sorry, you'll get me going if I carry on.
Waterworks are coming out. It is true, though. It is true. This community is fantastic and very supportive and very helpful and very generous.
No matter where you are on that sort of popularity ladder, it doesn't matter. I found, somebody up there's giving me advice, and you think, thank you, and I give advice for what it's worth, and they're, people are very, very encouraging. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is not me, but I know some people out there love the actual.
Stigler loves to clip.
Stigler, well, it's more. I just brought that out. It's the whole process of getting the game, sorting it out,
prepping,
cutting, doing the whole. I don't actually mind like the sorting part of that. I kind of enjoy it. It's kind of fun to separate things and put them in different piles, and
looking at the counters and getting to know them. You get to know your new friends, and I love. Sorry, I when I get a new game, I think, oh yeah, we're doing an unboxing video, and then I can clip it, and it's sad. I know you don't like the clipping, Jester, but that's part of the ritual of a new game for me. Is getting it clipped, getting it bagged or put in a container.
Bagged. You savage!
I have gone back to bagging because I just haven't got room.
Yeah.
To put all these bloody boxes.
The Play-Dohs.
You call them Play-Dohs, don't you? So, but say again, the Panzer thingies, they might only have 2 counter sheets. So I'm gonna put them in a few bags, chuck them in, and they're done. So.
What about putting them in just regular like trays, like GMT type trays?
You can't get them over here, and when you can, they're like £5 of bloody. For 5, and I'm not paying that.
Wow.
Which is why GMT should put a counter tray in every box instead of that blooming insert.
Yeah, that would be good. And it's just another reason for you to get an order of 10 placed and have Tony put that in the box that continues to grow.
Oh, yeah, right. Hold on.
Tony's got a big package coming.
He's got a big package. And then I'm disappearing. I'm gone.
By the time it's done, he's going to need to go.
Trays.
He's going to need to go look for a refrigerator box to fit all this crap in and
Yeah,
mail
have you
it to you.
seen Rough, mate? He owes me $400.
Well, you owe him because he's going to be shipping that to you.
Yeah, and I'm
You
not
know,
paying
so-
for it until I get it.
Oh wow. But yeah, there you go.
Does
That's a
anybody
smart
out
move.
there feel like the best part of wargaming is actually learning the new game?
We're supposed to learn them and play them.
Have you seen my videos?
I mean, somebody does somewhere.
That's
I
true.
think Stuka Joe does. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody else in the world does, but
No.
Stuka does.
No, he does. Nobody else does. Have you seen my videos? No.
I think.
Well, go ahead.
No, good. No.
I was going to say, with learning, the hard part of the learning is we play the games primarily solo, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier about when you play cooperatively, you play competitively cooperatively. If you have a game that you're getting together with, on the weekend at the game store or at a convention or whatever. Hey, I've always wanted to play this. Yeah, I've always wanted to play. Well, let's play it at the con. You get together and you both say, I'm going to read the rules ahead of time, and generally you're going to skim it, if not read it all the way through, depending on the size of the rule book. And then you sit down and you work it out. And most of the time, people are not going to play a full game. They'll play a few turns and just get a feel for it. Now, if it's a game that you can pick up real quick to the point where you're like, okay, yeah, I think we got it mechanically. I think we're good. We got through one turn. Let's reset and start over and play for real. Because first time you're like, oh, what's the best thing to do here? What's the best thing? Because you're learning it, you're exploring it. But if it's something that is fast enough to learn, fast enough to play, it's like, okay, I think we're good. You want to reset? Let's go from first turn and we'll play for real. And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there are. Somebody said in the comments there, Mr. Thovog. Sorry, there are. They are available in the UK from Second Chance, but they're like 16 quid for 4, and I'm thinking,
Oof,
wow.
Yeah, just
that
chuck
seems a
one in,
little steep
and-
there.
put GMT, put one in a box instead of your insert. That won't get thrown away.
Yeah, that would be good.
The last couple GMT games I got didn't even come with baggies now. So
No, that's right. They didn't even get me back.
right. So I'm like, they don't put in baggies, they don't put in counter trays. What are we gonna do?
Next time there'll be no dice.
Order from other companies.
Or rulebook.
Rulebook.
Be online. No, I've got to have the rulebook. That's the other thing I look forward to is, say, again with Panzer, because when you get a new game, even though it's not on the list to play next, there's things I'm going to play next. You take the rulebook, I take it to bed, and
cuddle it and love it, and
the wife's going, "What are you doing?"
I'll sleep.
You put it under your little pillow.
It smells lovely. What are you doing?
Sleeps on it, and that way he gets it through osmosis.
Yeah, but no, or you start reading the rules. It's not that bad, Jester. Sorry, he's made it sound worse than it is.
You tuck it in.
No, but you start reading the rules.
Lullaby.
You start reading the rules of the new game. You're going, oh, this looks good, and that's another pleasure I get, even though that game isn't going to be on the table maybe for weeks. So it's lots of things a new game. It sort of does to me when it turns up,
I guess.
Well, another thing too, to not forget is if you're having a problem getting GMT trays, you might want to check and see if Second Chance has the lock and load trays, because they have
them as well.
Ammo crate, and they've got the 3 deep dish counters and the box that it comes that holds it. So that's another good deal.
I don't think they've got them at the moment. They've got the DVG trays, but again, there's just so many
DVG trays don't lock.
Plastic. They're so expensive.
Yeah.
They cost pennies to make, but of course they've got to be shipped over here, and that's the thing that adds it all.
Yeah.
What's he saying? Much better and cheaper option. What is?
No, Mark is saying I read rulebooks in bed. Mrs. F says, "Oh, are you reading the instructions?"
No, the rules.
Oh, PG people, PG.
Well, that was definitely G, because there's innuendo there, but
Right.
Blue Tweezer says much better and cheaper options for trays, so you might want to get with Blue and see what he's talking about.
He's talking about plastic bags.
Barbarians.
Talking about bags.
Chessex trays, or as I like to call them, catapults.
There is.
Right.
I'm not going to get them out, but there are some smaller. We kind of talked about this. I showed you guys a couple of them.
I'm going slightly off topic, but it's all good stuff.
Chessex trays are good because they're thin, but they also are something you have to open with care. So
You
Where
get
do you
something
get
like
those
this, which is not as big, and it actually fits inside the box. See that?
That's great. I can't. I've looked on Amazon for that. I can't find anything. The only
Thin
one,
enough, it'll fit in there.
the only ones I can get are those ones I showed earlier. But look, you can't get those in the boxes.
Oh, you get those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those
I've
are
given up
Play-Dohs
on
only.
those Play-Doh boxes.
But
Yeah,
I'll do
those
something
thin
like
ones,
this.
yeah, fantastic. What are those?
This is something
Bead
I
boxes
got
or
at
something?
the Container Store.
Yeah, again.
I don't know what
Sorry, I'm going to add that to the list for Tony. Hold on.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just make note of that.
By the time it's said and done, he's going to be sending you a container.
Yeah. And he's going, what are you paying for me? What are you paying for
It's
this?
called
Rob?
Big Box Original. I don't know. That's the
Yeah,
only
we
tag
can't
on
get
it.
that. They look fantastic. That will fit down one side of the box.
Yeah,
no
so
trouble.
one of the things I was like, it has to be small enough to fit in the box. It has to be thin
Now,
enough. But it
Yeah,
has to be thick enough that it actually can put some counters in it.
and the boxes, the little compartments have to be big enough to get your stuff in. Yeah.
Dollar Tree. These
I
things are
can't-
awesome little hardware trays. These are
I've got
fantastic.
some of those. I've got one for this game, Mrs. Thatcher's war.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
But I can't get them anymore.
Yeah. That I see.
You've
I
run
went.
out.
They were in the store all the time for years, and I was buying them all the time.
Yeah.
Then I noticed that they stopped selling them, so I went and I bought a case, and I was like, okay, now I'm set. I've got like 60 of them, I think, 50 or
I
60
have
of
to
these damn little
go
things.
there and buy as many as they've got, which might be 2 or 3, and get these big ones, no trouble. But those ones you can't. And you saying about putting them in 3-inch boxes, which all games should be in 3-inch boxes, just to cover.
Most
But then,
games.
of course, you're going to double your blooming storage, aren't you? That's
Possible.
the
I
only
mean,
problem
like
with 3-inch boxes.
the SCS games, those are fine in the boxes they're at. They don't need 3-inch boxes. So
No, that's fine. No, because they've got a few counters, a map, and rules. Yeah, that's it. But things like, I think there are some games I think, why on earth did you put that in a bloody 2-inch box? And they put Stalingrad 42. That's a 2.5. Is that a 2.5-inch box?
yeah,
And
you
they
can fit
put
everything in there.
They could have made it a 3-inch. You get a counter tray in that one as well.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, it holds everything.
Yeah.
Because the other thing to do when you're doing your counter trays is to use the tray dividers, because sometimes you'll only use like 7 or 8 counters, and people will put that in one well. It's like, if you've got 3 different units that are only 6, 7, 8 counters each, well, you can put them all in one well and use the separator, the dividers, to divide them up so you can more easily pull them out.
Yeah.
Next War is a good example of those. You can do that with Next War.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think what you do when I get a game in, I sort it out, put it where I need to put it, either in boxes or bags, and then when I play it, it will then get, if it needs to be, properly sorted into trays or whatever. But I like to get it out, get it clipped, get it away, and that's part of the pleasure for me with a new
Just
game.
throws it all back in a box.
Yeah, to be sorted later when I play it.
Yeah.
And think, right, this isn't working the way I've got all this. I need to sort of fine tune the sorting. And that's when it happens, And I know that's going to happen with Korea when I play that. Because I've chucked everything in by country into bags, but I think it will need sorting again. Bags within bags if I can't get blooming thin boxes. But again, Mr. Thoa said some line sorting boxes on Amazon. So sounds like it's not my part of the world. So I'll check that out. I've made a copy of that, so I'll check that out later. Thank you for that.
Yeah, somebody else mentioned going to a fly fishing store because they have a lot of little different trays.
I live in a town that doesn't have any rivers near it or fly fishing things. So yeah, I may have to go and look online for that. Somebody else mentioned that, but I need to. It's nice to look at the boxes because you know if they're going to fit. It's all very well ordering online. I've done that before, and they've ordered them, and it's not.
Yeah.
You need to look at the thing. You think, "Now, where go in the box?" You know.
But
So,
those some line boxes that he was talking about,
yeah.
those are, I just looked them up. Those are 1.7 inches tall. So you're back to the same. It's the same size as your Plano boxes.
Oh, same size as these, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be like just about 2 inches, so maybe a little bit smaller.
They don't go. They go in the 3-inch boxes, but if there's enough room, but they don't go in the.
And there's so much wasted airspace in those things.
Yeah, they're like that, and you've got the counter to take that
exactly.
up. So, yeah, but that's all I can get. So what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, John brings up a good point. Maybe you just throw everything back in the box because how many times you're really going to need to sort it out, right?
That's a bit sort of pessimistic, John, isn't it? Crikey. That's not the attitude, is it? But he's right.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. Are you going to play it more than once? And, but then again, having it sorted correctly also makes it easier for you to set it up. And if you like it and you put it back, you're like, I really like that game. I've got it sorted and I've got it broken down now properly. It's going to be easier to set up. So I'm going to play it again and again. How many times have we all set up a game, got halfway through set up and go, motivation's gone. I don't want to play this now. And we put it back away.
For me, again, part of the pleasure is setting it up. I know. I'm bonkers, aren't I? I'm bonkers.
You are strange.
I am. Part of it is getting the map, getting it out, getting the counters over there, getting your tweezers, and then you're setting it up. And that may take an hour, but that's part of the fun for me. Because I think being a musician, the best part of doing a gig is setting it up, getting it out, getting your instruments out, getting plugged in, getting the sound check, tuning up and all that, getting ready for the gig. The thing I don't like is putting it away.
That's
the same as a gig. You hate putting it because you go, oh God, I've got to put it all away now because the gig's over and I'm knackered. And, I've got to, oh, geez. So, yeah, it's very similar to being a musician. If any guys and girls gig, they may know what I'm talking about. Setting up is great. Yeah, it's exciting. I love that.
Well, that was one of the things that, when it comes to like the Leader series, you're talking about DVG and Warfighter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
DVG is, even though those games are fairly simple, straightforward, easy to play, they can be a pain to set up, and a pain to break down because you got to resort the cards and put them back where they belong. You got to pull them out. You got to figure out what it is you need. And then you got to go through setting up what your kits are going to be for your guys or what you're going to use for your tanks or your aircraft or whatever.
Yeah, if you're talking about things like Corsair Leader, I've got mine sorted. Mine's sussed. Yeah, so I can set that up pretty. And I've also got an app I use because I like it all random. Yeah, so I click on the app and it tells me who's in that, who my boys are for that.
Okay.
With Warfighter, part of the fun for me again is. The big part of the fun is setting up the squad, looking through the cards. What am I going to use here? I may take an hour or two doing that.
Oh, wow.
And it's great. I sit there. I just take my time.
Wow.
But that's part of the fun for me.
Well, that's
playing the game,
subject. We're kind of a little off topic.
I know.
Well, that's the best part of wargaming is
the best parts of wargaming. So, I mean, that's part of it. Sorting it. Getting it out, setting it up, the smells, going to bed with the rules.
Makes me sound like a real saddo. I hope the wife doesn't hear this. She's away for the weekend. So I've got a few go-go girls.
So she was in the chat earlier.
Now, with some of the games, are they like boats?
Me?
Yeah, some war games are. Some war games like boats, like buying a boat. Because there are two best days with a boat. The day you buy the boat and the day you sell the boat.
Sell the boat, right?
So it's like, how many war games have we got where it's like, oh my God, I'm so glad I got this game. And then you finally get into it and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm getting rid of it. And you sell it because it just didn't click or whatever.
To see what I know you take the mickey out of me and that, about loving everything, but I have not come across a game that I've played and I think, bugger me, I'm getting rid of that tomorrow.
Really?
I've not yet. No. No.
Wow.
There are some games I like more than others,
Sure.
but I haven't come across a game that I think this is
His
terrible.
collection will never get cold because he won't be able to go, yes, I need to get rid of that.
Because when I
Wow.
choose my games, funnily enough, you may think I'm a bit or I buy everything. No, I choose my games, I research, I watch videos, I read things, and then I buy it. And because of the research I've done, I'm probably going to like it. Yeah, I've not come across any game that I think, blimey, this is a bit of a stinker. It may well happen, but not at the moment. But
I'm
you've got to bear
surprised.
in mind as well, I haven't. That's it. That's my games.
Okay.
You know.
So for context, Mo, I'm going to share this with Mo because
All right, I'll shut up.
he doesn't have context. So this is from August 1st, 2020. Notice his game collection
right.
here. He literally only has like 1-2 shelves for the games.
Yeah.
The rest are books.
Yep.
Books, more
World
books.
War II books, mainly.
Books. I wish I could find the picture I had from when we first made it.
That's greatness.
Do you see what I have to put up with, Mo? Every week he does this. Rubs my nose in it.
Blue brings up a good point. Nobody would want to buy a game from Ruff that Ruff is selling because he's gone to bed with the rule book.
Yeah, you want to get
a whole new
dirty rule book.
Grow up.
Whole new meaning of sloppy seconds, huh?
Yeah, grow up.
Poor Ruff and Blue. They're gonna have a good next game. They're gonna be picking on each other.
Yeah, you wait till Wednesday when my Ruffs Rebels make hell for you.
Oh, is that still going on? I thought you guys were supposed to finish that.
No, it keeps going on. We can't. Nobody
Oh
can
my
win.
God.
It's good. It's great. It's really good. But yeah, I had less games. Yeah, and
well, you'll get to the point where you're going to find games you don't like for whatever various reasons.
I
That doesn't mean the
that.
game's not good. It's just well, it could mean the game's not good, but it could also just generally is going to mean the game is not for you.
Yeah, and I look at I do my research. No. I really believe that. I haven't got to that sort of threshold yet. And there's going to be games where I think I've done the research, I looked at it, I thought, oh, good. Actually playing it, you think, you know what? Nah. And I'm comfortable then because I've got enough games to go, no, I'll get rid of that. It's not a bad game. It's just not
for you. Yeah.
You know, because hopefully I won't buy a bad game because I've done my research. You know, I won't buy a stinker because I've done my research. But yeah, you're quite right. I haven't got there yet. But, give me time.
He's working on it.
I'm working on it.
How about?
Will you stop going on about me doing obscene things with rule books, please?
I'm not.
You know, it's
what I was going to say until I got interrupted was, how about the actual history of the game? How learning the history, learning the different units and the different commanders or whatever, is that important to anybody? Is that like the best part?
It can be. I know some people will really dive into a game and will dive into the unit histories and the actual operation itself. And they'll really, the game will inspire them to go and buy books, not just a book, but books. I don't go as deep into it usually as that. I'll read some cursory stuff. Sometimes I'll read more. I think I get more into smaller, and not necessarily operations, but smaller things, smaller battles. And especially when there's personalities, like tactical level stuff. If you can learn about the people, to me, that I connect more with that than I necessarily will with just a generic big giant operation. But some people, it depends. It depends the type of game. I know, like the OCS guys, the people who play those games, they look more big picture, so they're more likely, I think, to dive into the operational aspect of things, reading that stuff, those types of books. But me personally, no, I like to watch documentaries on things and read about the personal individual accounts and then transfer that into a game.
Yep, I agree.
Stigler says it's
yes,
a huge part.
Yeah.
with,
You combine it with a good book or two on the same subject. Yep.
I'm like you, Mo. I've got enough books on, say, the Second World War. There's some conflicts I haven't got any books on, or very few. So I don't tend to get the books if I get a game on a conflict or a battle. But I do like designer notes. I do like the background that the game gives. And if there's something that interests me, then I'll look it up in one of my library of books on that subject.
Sure.
But I do like yourself. I do like, that's why I like the tactical, like the narrative-driven games, because it becomes personal. You're reliving that group's squad, that person's
experience.
Experience. Yeah. Okay, maybe not realistically, but you're sort of
you're getting their perspective. You're getting some of their perspective
away and getting a feel for what was going on, and that I love. This is why I love tactical. I am starting to like the bigger games, like Next War, and you keep saying get NATO and and things like that.
War Game of the Year.
Yeah, I know, but okay.
We'll see if the Charlies get that or not. I don't know.
Well, they've got it. I think give them a chance. I think they're doing their best. I know it's better than last year. Yeah, you've got to agree. Even though Lucky, Lucky, I'm going to get that game. It looks good.
Looks really in depth. I wonder how many books are written on that subject.
But things like that will slip through, I suppose. But
yeah.
But back to what we were talking about. I like the narrative, tactical.
Sure.
You're looking at the person, but I'm getting into more bigger things, like yourself, like NATO, like with me, Next War and Red Storm, and that sort of thing. And even things like GTS and the 4X series by Mark Simonich. That's appealing to me as well. So yeah.
What about you, Jester? You keep sitting there nodding your head. You're not saying anything. You're letting us talk.
I don't give him a chance. That's what it is. Sorry. Cheers.
For me, the best part is the feeling of reliving history. That's why I tend to not go with modern day stuff like you like, Mo, just because a lot of the modern stuff isn't hasn't happened. It's imaginative. I like reliving the history and saying, oh, okay, this is what happened at this time, blah blah blah. That's just for me. So
sure. Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's just kind of understanding more about what had happened, what was going on, what was, the designer notes about the different, things that were going on. I played Panzer Battles from speaking of OCS, right? And then I realized from the OCS system, there was a book written by one of the generals that was actually in the battle.
Look at him wandering about in shorts. I've got a jumper on. What's going on? What are you saying, Hethwell?
Which I think the game was based on this book here. So General FW.
Oh, on the Cheer River?
Yeah. So, and then I was like, oh, so I played the game. So now I'm like, oh, I should buy the book. So, because I know when they're talking about these different units and the different rivers, and when sometimes when you're reading the book and they're talking about this river and the bridge over the river, right? And they're okay, big deal, right? When you actually sit down and play the game and you realize, oh my God, I got to get my guys over this river bridge or we're screwed.
Yeah.
Then you understand why it's so important.
You have a point of reference. And
that's great. Yeah, you're quite right. When you read a book, you think, oh, this is good. And it's like all these units are cropping up and what they're doing and where they're moving to. You don't really get what they're doing when you play the game that's based on that battle and read a book, you know exactly what's going on because you think, when I played that, I remember moving them. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
That is where I think it's easier to remember units and stuff, is if you can get a game, you have a game and then you get a book based on it, and then or based on that battle, and then you have these units. You're like, oh, I know that unit. That was in the game. That's in the game. Then you start really making more. Yes, you have that relation, and then you really make the connection, and then you have a better perspective of things. And then the more interesting thing is like, oh, they did that. I didn't do that in the game. I didn't even think of doing that in the game.
Right. Hey, man, I didn't do it. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah.
So you can now like take their strategies and go, oh, okay.
You could try that.
And you can see how, because of what they knew or didn't know, how their strategy might have played out good or bad too. So
yeah. And that's the thing too, is we all always have perfect information, and we also have the aspect of being able to look back on history. So hindsight's 20/20, and at the same time we have God mode. They didn't have that.
Right,
and
right. Exactly.
Some of that might be in the designer notes and historical background of the game, but it might not be. So you have to do a little bit of research. But the other interesting thing is, like Mo and now me, is getting more interested in what ifs and Third World War, Cold War gone hot, or like Mitch's next war could happen tomorrow. By the way it's looking, there is no strategies. There is no books written on it. Sort of historical books. They never happened.
Yeah.
So that's what I like. You can make your own thing. What you're doing is you're trying out new strategies and things, and they work or they don't. What do you think, Mo?
No, it's true. You can, like, when it comes to playing any of these, like Next War, Mitch's Next War series, he's positing what could happen in Korea, Vietnam, Taiwan, so on and so forth. And he's going based on orders of battle from a couple of years ago, whenever the game was designed. Well, things change, they evolve. So you're going to have to, when you're playing, you're going to have to look and say, okay, well, is this unit still doing this thing that it was before? Does it have this firepower that it had, 3, 4, 5 years ago? Doesn't have it now, because the force changes as they're adapting to new battles going, or the plans for new battles going forward. But the main thing is you get to look at what could happen with us and Russia, or us and China over Taiwan, over Poland, things like that. And you see it today. I mean, what's going on right now? Russia on the border, Ukraine. You've got and China's been threatening Taiwan for years, and
Belarus and all that sort of thing. What's going on? Yeah, it's crazy. And the other thing, of course, is like the 80s sort of what ifs, Sixth Fleet and NATO and all that. Yeah. There's nothing to reference. You're just trying it out.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about those games. Is there's nothing to fall back on. You've just got to suck it and see and try different strategies.
Yeah, you can try the different strategies or go by whatever we know as far as what was the protocols at the time, the SOP at the time, what was going to be, what were the plans for us, for NATO and for the Warsaw Pact. And then you try to play it off on that, depending on how you want to play. If you want to play strictly as, a Warsaw Pact style, or do you want to play it as a NATO style, or you just want to play your own style? Either way, you get to play it out and see what would have happened. Thankfully, you get to have these giant clashes without anybody ever getting hurt, because that would have been terrible if there was that war. But there's a fascination, because that would have been the next biggest thing from World War II. It would have been bigger.
The thing from the 80s, would have been tremendous amount of loss of life because of the weapons they were using, and next war as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's nice is the wrong word, but it's nice to be able to sort of play them out and see what would have happened, using your own either,
it's the best option.
Sort of doctrine, or thinking, no, they may have had a brainwave and done this doctrine, done this sort of thing. So, it is fascinating. This thing is fascinating.
It is.
You're learning all the time. All the time.
Not everybody likes modern stuff, and I understand that. But when it comes to if you want to go for hypothetical modern World War III, or near modern, I should say, that was 80s. Then we've got a ton of stuff that's out. Not just NATO. You've got Air and Armor coming out. You've got Fabrizio with Thin Red Line Games. They've got their third game coming out. It's
great. On the floor and play them, but But there's a lot of, I know we're going off topic, but there's a lot of sort of what if 80s stuff out now. Is it because people are more interested in that rather than historical warfare?
Well, I think this ties into our, best part of wargaming is the trends, how things, everything's been World War II, and that's always going to be the case. World War II is always going to be a big hot seller, but then things change a little bit, and they start going down these, I don't want to say rabbit holes, but they go down these roads to explore them. Hey, let's go down, like the big thing there for a while was the change when you brought in like coin in these games. So when it went from being a hex encounter war game to being a Euro, and people started getting into that crossover, and it attracted a whole bunch of people. Now we're going into hex encounter. What we've been in now is the middle of this hex encounter. Near modern and hypothetical World War III is the big thing now, and it will be for another couple of years, I think, because it's the hot ticket right now. But there are still other games being explored. Yeah, still other games being explored, like Versailles 1919 and all these games. These other historical games that people are going into. So it's nice to have these different avenues to explore.
And can I just say, if you haven't done so already, peeps in the chat, smash that like button. It would be nice.
Yeah.
But not literally. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Okay, don't hurt yourself when you do it. Whatever you do. Whatever you do. Best part of the wargaming is, could it be like, I get these comments from the wife because I get the router and the internet connection comes into my room here. So I'm at work and she has to call the cable company, and the guy comes in here to fix it, and he spends like half an hour looking at all my stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It happens all the time. And we also have the guy that comes in to spray for the bugs. He comes in and he's like, he said, the wife's like, they walk out of your room with like their jaws open.
Are they inspired to play something? Are they going, what's all this about? And they go off and get a game. Are they inspired? Yeah. Or is it just like, what's this loser doing? This
guy must be a warmonger.
Yeah. Yes. They're probably taking notes and reporting me to the FBI or something.
Oh, right.
Well, Hethwell is saying here that he's got a comment. Political historical, I guess this is off of what I was saying before with coin and like Versailles 1919. Political historical are not combat focused like war games are. And that's true. And that's where there's different avenues of the hobby. You've got war games and then you have historical board games, and there is definitely a distinct difference, and there's room for everybody to enjoy both.
It's still history.
Yeah, it's still history. It's different ways of exploring history.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the best part right there. We have games. Best part, I think, right now, seriously, is we've got so many games coming out.
Great.
So many different types of games.
Yeah. My credit card can't keep up.
Well, your credit card can. Your bill to pay off the credit card.
Well, yeah.
Very true.
I think another thing about it is the different new designs. You mentioned the coin game system. We got now dedicated solo, which started becoming a real important thing a couple years ago. And now, half the games that are coming out are solo friendly, which are really, really good for us solo guys out there.
Sure.
I think what's happened in the world over the last couple of years has sort of focused down solo games, solitaire games, because that's all we could play. But now I think, and I can't remember where I heard it, that most game publishers wish a solitaire part of the game, even if it's not originally written as a solitaire game, because they realize how popular that is. I know Stigler, I know Stig, I know. But and we've had this discussion, but I like both. And there are people who like to play stuff on their own and play with people, and just people that like to play on their own for whatever reason. And that's good. We shouldn't exclude that. But a lot of companies are making sure that they have a solitaire. It may not be the best thing, but they give a solitaire option to their games.
Sure.
And I think that's a good thing.
No, it definitely is good.
I mean, Greg Smith's designs with the U-boat stuff. His World War One airplane cane coming out. His tank.
Oh,
American Tank Ace. Yeah.
that man's
Tank
bonkers. He's bonkers.
He's a cyborg.
Yeah, he's not from this
So I
planet.
mean, the more games, the more systems that are out there, the more things that are being thought in people's heads and made into games is just so that's, I think, one of the good things. Another thing is there isn't really a way other than watching a movie, if you're not playing a war game, to like kind of involve yourself with that conflict. If you're watching a movie, yes, you can kind of involve yourself in it, but or maybe reading a book and stuff.
I'll get on that in a minute. Yeah.
Are you going to give me a minute? Wow.
Well, I was just going to say, and Demi, no,
and then he interrupts me. So go ahead.
Demi Yanks has said he's never played. He's only played solo, never played against someone. I didn't. But when you do, it's a wonderful experience. You've got both worlds. You've got your solo world, and you're playing, even though it's sort of virtual, what I've played with these guys, it's fantastic. So I would recommend getting out there and playing something on Vassal or tabletop or something, because it's a different experience. It's just as great. But back to the film thing. When you watch a film, it's you and the film, and you've got that narrative going through your head. And you only, for me, and you may disagree, I only get that largely when I play solitaire, because it's you and the game, and the narrative is going through you. When you're playing with somebody else, you're playing off the game, you're playing off them, and you don't get maybe that narrative quite so much, because you're playing with somebody, you're enjoying their company, you're enjoying playing the game, and the narrative may be a little bit down the ladder a bit. But when you play solitaire, it's you and the game, and that solitaire thing hits you between the eyes. Yeah. So there's good things about solitaire and good things about playing face-to-face. One isn't better than the other.
But, well, the good thing, too, about, like, you were kind of to expand on what you were saying, it goes back into what we were talking about before, where some people read about these different conflicts or battles, whatever. And when you play from a different perspective, you gain a better understanding of the overall situation. And it also kind of goes back to another conversation I think we've all had at one point or another. Some people not want to play the bad guys. Some people only want to play the good guys, whatever.
Yeah, I can't get that. Anyway.
The thing is, but here's the thing is, I don't care which side it is. I'll play any side of any conflict of any game, if it's an interesting game. If it's not something I'm interested in, I'm not going to probably want to play, but I'll still play any side. I don't care, because when I do play that side, I will put myself in that position and I will see things from that perspective.
Exactly.
So I'll see the challenges they had. Exactly. And then when I play solitaire, when I play these, I do the same thing. I'll put myself in a position and I'll think like they do and go, wow, what's the position they're in? What do they need to do? And then vice versa when I switch sides. And it kind of, like you said, it draws you in. Now, when you're watching a movie, you're getting fed the perspective, because whatever the director, the writer wants to give you. When you're playing a war game, it's up to you to see the perspective, because then you can, depending on what situation, position you're in on the board. Yeah.
When you watch a movie, you're watching that script.
Yes, it's fed
when
to you.
You're playing a solitaire game, you're writing that script.
Or even if you're playing a game solitaire, a two-player game, or a multiplayer game solitaire, you're seeing all the sides. You're seeing all the sides yourself. Yeah. Which I think is fantastic.
You only get that, in my opinion, when you play solo, be it a two-player game you're playing solo, or a solitaire game. When you're playing two-player, you get it, but not as much, because you're enjoying the fact that you're
playing with someone,
with somebody, and you're having fun, and you're taking a Mickey, and you're having a drink and pretzels and nonsense and all that. Yeah, it's great. Get out there and play something, because it's a different thing and you'll enjoy it.
Exactly.
So we've gone over
these guys.
Quite a few of our favorite things in wargaming. So if we were to take one of those, which of those things that we've discussed would you say is your favorite thing?
Well, I'm not mentioning taking rule books to bed anymore because it's gone in the gutter. The chat has gone in the gutter. So that's it. I'm not mentioning that anymore. Grow up. And so I don't know. Go on, Mo. What do you reckon?
I would say, seriously, aside from all the stuff about war games and everything, and with the really terrible, situation the world's been in the past couple of years, people being locked in and things like that. The really great thing that's come out of this is more people have gotten online and more people have connected than ever before. That before this, all this stuff was going on, people were busy doing their own thing, and not that there weren't people online, there were, but people were, they were at sporting events, they were out running around with their families, their friends, doing other things. Now, when you're forced to be inside, it's made people connect. There's more people doing shows like this and hanging out with us on these shows, and then doing Vassal and Tabletop Simulator and all that stuff. So overall, I'd say the community and the connections that everybody's made, I think that is one of the best things, if not the best thing about wargaming.
And I've got to concur with that because, a year and a half ago, I was doing my stuff, knew a few people, but since the whatever has taken over the world, I've got to know everyone, subscribers, these things we do every week, all the subscribers in the chat have got to know me, I've got to know them, I've got to know you, I've got to know loads of people. It's brilliant. Yeah. So thank you, COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only good thing.
Mo, you put on some beef.
Yeah, I gained a few pounds with the COVID, and then I've had back issues again. So it's like I'm not exercising or anything.
No, we all have. Don't worry about it.
That's what we do best.
Oh, right? I know. That is one of the negatives about COVID. But on top of COVID, I've had back issues for decades, but it's gotten real bad the past couple of years, and I'm getting real close to needing surgery. So it's limited me from getting back into the gym. So
was that sitting in a tank?
No, well, I did injure it in the military, but at the time when it was injured, the corpsman just said it was a lower back or a lumbar strain.
Get out!
Now I blew two of my discs.
Oh, cold.
So that was 30 something years ago. So it just gotten worse and worse. Now it's just bone on bone, and I'm pressing on the sciatic nerve all the time. So
best thing about
cuddly people like that.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you. See, I've got a cuddly jumper on just for you.
Cuddle up with him in a rule book.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
we're going to mention that. All right.
God, what about you, Jester?
Yeah.
I think probably the best thing about the wargaming is the fact that I got to meet some really great people, Ruff and Mo and Tony and Herman and Mike and Ruff, our Blue Tweezers, and I mean, just so many No Enemies Here. Met so many great people, and it's really just been a lot of fun. So that's, I guess, the best thing for me. Just hanging out with you guys and meeting you guys. I mean, I would have never met Ruff if it wouldn't have been for that. He'd be sitting over in his little castle over in England,
Castle in England. Wow.
By himself and
doing
his little thing by himself over there. I wouldn't have had a chance to blow the shit out of his yellow tank.
But isn't that weird that we've all said the same thing? That it's because we've met all these wonderful people, be it YouTubers, be it designers, be it game producers, be it people in the chat, subscribers to our channels. We've actually got to chat to them. It's weird that we've all picked that, but not weird.
Well, it's great because you make these connections, you make these friendships online. And then when we are able to get back to in person, like Compass Expo was recent. So I went to Compass Expo and had several people come up to me and say, "Hey, Mo." And I'm like, "Hey." But I didn't know names, and then they say, "Oh, I'm so-and-so. I watch your channel." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I know who you are. Yeah, thanks, man." And it just throws you off at first. You're like, because you see their real name, not their screen name,
Right.
So it's like,
I
know who you are now.
I'm XBJ 3000.
Exactly. So it's kind of neat.
I can't wait. Let's hope things relax, and maybe next year,
the
year after, I want to come over and see you guys. I want to give you hugs. I want to go to WBC, and everybody said what a great little convention that is. It's not so little, but everybody says it's a great convention, and meet everyone. It'd be great.
Well, we'll continue on this online stuff.
Yeah,
Even if things, open up, we'll still continue the online connections because I think these are going to last,
I think they're worldwide. People who can't get across, wherever they have set, be it in Europe or your part of the world or wherever, everybody can join in. And I think that's another good thing that's happened. These virtual cons will continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JBX 3001 said, hey. And you said XPJ 3000.
No, you got it right.
Nice.
You know what? He's moaning about Bug River again, old Tweez. But,
Oh my God!
You played the campaign. I played the 7-turn. No, I played the 3-turn thing, and it took me 17 videos. But
what is he complaining about, Bug River? That it was
it's
slow?
a great game. I love it. I do love it.
Slow,
I can't wait for Gazala to come out.
I like it. I like the combat part, but it's slow.
We got to start winding things down. It's that time again already,
right?
No.
Is it?
It is. So hoping to get on Stuka Joe. I know he's in the chat. He's been in the chat. So we're hoping to get Stuka Joe. I've been in contact or emailing back and forth. So hopefully we get Stuka Joe on and get to pick his brain a little bit, maybe in an upcoming episode. And fortunately, we've almost gone 2 hours and we haven't had nobody's even talked about missing Tony or anything. So
who?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Sorry,
we love you, Tony. We love you.
No, we do.
So
well, I do have one thing to add in. So we got to figure out what is everybody's vacation going to be like for the holidays? Is everybody going to be taking any vacation time?
I'm going to Lake Tahoe.
Oh, you are? When is that going to be?
That is
Christmas
the 14th through the 23rd.
Okay. So you'll be back in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
What about you, Ruff?
Sorry, just reading Stickers talking to me. I'm running. Yes, I can go to. I don't speak Spanish though, Joe.
Oh,
I'm going to go to the Velocicon. Yeah, I know it's a short one. You never know. You'll have to translate for me. I'll walk you around as my translator. Hello, here's my translator, Joe. So yeah, you never know. You never know, Joe. What am I doing?
No one will be talking to you. They'll be talking to him instead. They just it's Stuka Joe.
Who's this schmuck you got with you, Joe? So, what am I doing? No, we're not going anywhere because we're in, not going away. I'll just probably. I am going out with Tweezers and the missus and the girls. We're going down to London on the 18th of December, all being well, and we're going to do a live show. It's going to be rough and blue on the lash, which is a British term for having a few drinks and a chat. So
there you go.
So
do it up.
Cool. Yeah. The reason why is because we got to figure out a time because right now it should be. It's not yet. I just checked today, but Battle of Armageddon Vassal module is done, and that should be getting released very soon. It just hasn't been approved, I guess, on the Vassal site yet, but that one should be ready to go soon. So we need to try to plan a day or an evening, I should say, whatever time, to get all this together. Now with Ruff, we'll probably have to do something like in the afternoon because of the time difference. So I don't know what time you go to bed with your rule books, but we'll try to figure it out.
So, I wish I had mentioned that. Jesus, with the pages sticking it,
dude, that is forever going to be yours. Just like Algiers and Algeria, it is for Jester.
You can't mention anything. You got to shut.
I can't undo it. No, and
can't undo it.
Well, there we go. But no, just with that sort of thing, I don't mind me getting in with Jim Jams and sitting there with my cup of Horlicks if it's going to help the rest of you guys out.
Well, it's going to be an after dark game.
That's fine.
After dark, we'll call it because it's going to be free for all on. It'll be an adult show because we'll be popping nukes and wiping out 10, 20, 50,000 people at a clip.
Lots of expletives and drinking.
Yes.
I suspect.
Oh yes, it should be fun. So we'll figure out sometime
we'll get together. We'll figure out a good time. I think holidays
it's
is
silly
going to be
o'clock, I
pretty
don't
rough
mind.
one way or the other for people.
Okay, cool.
I mean, we'll be in touch though. Anyways, everybody, thank you for coming out today. We do appreciate it. We want to give a big shout out to Mo. Everyone, thank you, Mo, for coming out.
Enjoy it.
We're renaming the show the War Room with Mo, Ruff, and Jester, I think. So,
and special guest star occasionally,
and,
Tony.
And sometimes a guest with Tony, maybe. Everybody, have a great week. We hope. Go ahead.
Teresa said, "Are we up for Versailles tomorrow?" I'm waiting to hear from Tony. Sorry. Right, back to you.
Okay. Once we hear back, we'll know for sure about tomorrow over on the Blue Tweezers. We might be doing 1919 to be determined, though. Anyways, guys, everyone, thanks for coming by tonight. We do appreciate everybody that came out. Thank you very much. Thanks to Mo for great substitution as usual. Our go-to man steps up again. Whew. Hopefully we'll be back.
A lot of fun.
If you guys miss us, we'll be back. We're like the Tooth Fairy. You put something underneath your pillow, we show up. Or at least Ruff does.
Oh, shut up.
There you go.
All right. See everybody. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
See ya.